Hi everyone. This video is about methods. In particular, I explain what pass by value means. At the end of the video, I briefly explain the difference to pass by reference. Let's say we have a method called reset, and this method has a single parameter named num of type integer. Inside the method, we assign 0 to num. Now in the main, I declare a variable named a of type int, and I initialize it with 5. I then invoke the reset method and pass a to it. After the method call, I output the value of a. Now running this program, what would be the output? Would it be 5 or would it be 0? So let's run this program. Now this will be 5. So why is it 5? To understand what's really going on, let's take a look at the memory. So in memory, we create a variable named a and we initialize it to 5. Now this variable holds 5. The parameter is also a variable in memory. So this one is named num, and initially there's nothing in it. So now when we execute this, we have a with 5, then we do the method call, and this is passed by value. Passed by value means it takes the value and copies the value over. So it copies 5 into the num parameter. Now when executing this method, it assigns 0 to num. So num will be 0. Num is a local variable. So at the end of the method call, when it returns, this memory is freed and no longer exists. Now we're back in the main, and then in the main, a is still 5 and it outputs 5. Now another question is, what if we rename this variable to num? Would it still be 5 or would the output be 0? Now here we have the memory again, this one being num. And in the method call, since it's passed by value, there's really no difference. It copies 5 over into num, and this one is just named num. So it copies 5 over, num is 5. At the end of this, it resets it to 0, and then at the end of the method, this would be removed. These one are two variables that have the same name, but because the scope of each variable is different, here the scope is only inside the reset method, and here the scope is only inside the main. So it is fine to have the same variable in different functions or different methods. So at the end, when this executes, this is removed, and then 5 will be outputted. So if I run this, there's really no difference. The variable name does not make a difference. It's still 5. So this is pass by value. Pass by value always means copying the value to the parameter. Java only has pass by value. If you know a little bit about object-oriented programming or objects, Java always stores references, and even passing objects in as arguments and during a method call, it is still passed by value. That simply means that the reference here, if a variable stores a reference to an object, it's still passed by value because the value inside the variable is also copied over. The only difference is that now it's not an integer value, it's a reference value. So even for objects, it's still passed by value. Now you may wonder, what is passed by reference? What would be the difference? So let's go back, renaming this to a. So we have a, and a is 5, and let's say we would be able to pass it by reference. We would essentially store the address of a in this variable here. So I have to make this a little bit longer that it fits. But essentially this would take the address of A, move the address in here, and then when we operate it, this assignment would really operate on A as well. So it would be directly operating on the same variable. Essentially, another way to view this is we have one variable, and now this one, let's go back here, this one could be referred to with either A or num. So using num or using A would essentially be just operating on the same memory that we have. Or you could view num as an alias. So passing the reference really passes the reference of the variable into the parameter. Now, the focus is really that you know what pass by value is. Pass by reference, like I said, Java does not have pass by reference. Everything when you do a method call, it takes the value and copies it over. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.